you so much. Okay, let's begin. So we have scheduled today for Azure Associate Cloud Administrator, which is certification name called AZ104 demo class. So I hope everyone aware about, or everyone know that what is Azure. There is a basic concept of that, right? So what is Azure? Why we need to use this Azure, and what is the upcoming feature of this Azure? Why we need to choose this Azure, right? I'm just preparing my notes. We wanted to just discuss on the Azure, right? So we are talking about, it's a certification course which is from the Microsoft Azure, which is one of the cloud provider. Okay. So if you talk about with presentation, just let me open my presentation to have, right? Okay. So I will not take an introduction today class, just for the today we have open for the everyone. Just have a understanding that is in what is the goal for the design to understand this Azure Cloud Administrator. The certification name we are going to talk about is at 104, which name we call as a Associate Cloud Administrator. Okay, so we would be talking about what is a prerequisite is needed. Okay, what are the certifications involved, right? And what are the content we are going to discuss. Okay, it means we can talk about syllabus, and after the course completion, what are the benefit we are getting, and how to prepare our profiles, become a Azure Cloud Administrator. Okay, so let's begin in this. We would be going to talk about, I hope you can see my screen and presentation. Right. So this is AZ104. It's a Microsoft syllabus, is a standard syllabus where we are going to talk about in upcoming journey. And yeah, thank you for joining, and warm welcome everyone who are joined across location. Today in India time is morning time, around 8 a.m. in the morning, and whoever you are joined for your location, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, right? So we need to talk about it. It will be my introduction. We'll talk about later when we will have a actual class. So we would be talking about a prerequisites of this course, right? What are the prerequisites we would need, and what are the basic skill we would need to understand this. So when you are become a Azure administrator, you would be a role of, you'll be the designation of this is cloud administrator. To become a cloud administrator, you need to understand that some prerequisites has, that is in what is the terminology called as on premises, which is understanding of on premises, what you mean by virtualization technologies, right? And what is the networking, and basic things of your operating system, basic things of networking, where you heard about servers, right? Servers, in the servers, hard drive, and hardware details and all. So again, understanding of network configuration, where it is all very basic, where you, when you wanted to bring the systems or bring the servers into the network, you would need to know that is in how the TCP/IP works, what is the DNS, right? Private network, firewall. If doesn't know that is in note, don't worry about it. I will be going to take you from the scratch and to understand this concept, right? And understanding of Active Directory concepts such as users, groups, and role-based access control is one of the mandatory part to understand. For that is Azure, where we will be going to discussing about in detailed Active Directory. Also, understanding of resilience of and disaster recovery, including backup and risk. These are all on premises we are already using. Okay, so no matter if you're not using, whoever in a desktop support engineer or who are already working on the server administrator and who willing to upskill to Azure, no problem. But these are all very much basic needed to understand that is in Azure. But I'm going to take you, thoroughly. These are all topic if it doesn't know that, right? So when you become a cloud administrator, what would be the responsibilities you are going to handle it? There's a major, because you need to understand that is in, clearly, crisp and clear. The become your profile, your career get changed to become a cloud administrator, then you would need to know that is in what are the things I'm going to do. It is not like just you are learning is a sake of learning, right? So that this training it make you to benefits, this training it make you to career change, this training it would help you to, upskilling yourself and career growth. It is just not for the learning, right? And obviously, when we are keep on experiencing our career or our overall experiencing, our growth would be, uh, it would be keep on graph, it will be keep on changes, as well as salary. The most important, salary should change it. It should not be last 2 years whatever salary we have and today also is the same. No, there is no growth. So to change that, we wanted to be upskill ourselves. This is a best training, or this is best course for us to learn. It's a trending technologies, and every organizations are looking for their infrastructure to move on to the cloud. But when they moved, or after moving, what needs to be done? The people should be there to support, right? When you migrate or when you are upgrade from the on-premises infrastructure to cloud and day-to-day operations activity, support team would be there. Those support team are whoever having a knowledge, whoever having the skills on Azure, and who are certified Azure cloud administrator. Those people would be supporting those role. What kind of role they would be supporting? When you become a cloud administrator, you would be going to cloud services. Those are all storage, networking, compute cloud capabilities with a deep understanding of each service across full IT cycle. So when you have certified, right, we should be a little expertise in this implementing, managing, and monitoring in organization of Azure environment. Remember, we already knows those things where we are regularly using, virtual network, storage, VM, identity access management, or security. These are all combined consideration or consolidated all the technologies we are bringing in a one location, one place. That is called cloud. So those centralized portal we would be administering, monitoring, managing, implementing. That responsibilities we are going to have as a cloud administrator. We need to understand that is in the end user request, where how that customer would go to the cloud. We need to explain them in a right manner what are the benefit they will be getting, which is they wanted to new cloud applications and make recommendations on services to use for optimal performance and scale. Now the cross world is standing on the only three things currently in all IT infrastructure. One is optimization. How do you make that optimization? How do you cost reduce? And yeah, how do you make things automate? Now those days are gone where you need to take a longer time to implement something, and you are excusing that, telling that excusing this is the issues we need to fix it, that is the issue we need to fix this. No, these are all days are gone. Now only is standing on how things are you're going to optimization, which my performance and scale up. And then you know you have to be automate the things, right? Which these technologies are in a part of in a cloud, right? Where your optimal performance scale as well as the provision capacity monitor adjust the appropriate. The customer business, people are looking for, they will not ask for any excuses, right? So we will be checking, we will be looking, and we'll be come back to no. So there is a issue identified. How fast, how quick you are going to be fix it, where we call as a you know uh, optimization, right? And reduce the manual work. I don't want to take a much time to deploy for the 100 server in a 1 month. No. So and again, main important topic called as a cost. Okay, so the cost, it would be reduced. You might have heard about, you might have seen that is in current situation is many companies, people are laying off, right? And every companies are reducing their employees, cross cutting, and because of all it is after the COVID, it would come to the cost. They are not managing their business with a huge expensive, right? But how do we survive in IT? How do we, make little smarter? But we have to learn these technology, which is standing across worldwide. IT companies standing on optimizations, how the things you make optimization, how the things to make things automated, which we call, you will be learning those things, right? And cloud platform. In the cloud, you would also think about security, right? I can say cloud, security, optimization, and cost reduce. These four you need to think about how you wanted to make your career. Which is the first one is that everything is moving to the cloud. When the resources are moved to the cloud, how we wanted to operate, how we wanted to run that the our day-to-day operations. For that, we would need this to understand the concept, right? Cloud administrator use Azure portal as they become a more efficient, which we are talking about automation, which you need to learn for the PowerShell, right? And when you become a successful cloud administrator, this role with experience, which is operating system, virtualization, cloud infrastructure, storage, structure, and networking, whichever we have that already using all the technologies called storage, networking, virtual machine, operating system, applications, everything we are already using, but all consolidated technologies we would be bringing into the one location. And there is no separate called server administrator, there is no separate called database administrator, there is no separate called network administrator. Everyone it is bringing into the one central place called cloud, and one person can handle for all these things. So when you know this concept, you would be able to, we will be talking about as per the Microsoft recommendation, the topic we'll be going to talk about. So these are the topic. Before that is in, when we have a certification concept, right, we would be know this certification where AZ100 we call as a Microsoft fundamentals, and this is no need to take separately. I would be covering about this AZ104, which is second options are Microsoft certified Azure administrator, which is called associate cloud administrator, where you would be, after completion of this training, you would be a designed for Azure administrator who implement, monitor, and maintain the compute, storage, and network and security, right? You will be a strong, confident implementing an organization cloud infrastructure, which is Azure networking, security, database, application development, and all other automation operations related. And there is a SME level, expert level. There's one more certification for Microsoft certified, which is solution architect, AZ304 and 5, designated of, so designed for the Azure solutions architect who create the solution to compute, network, storage, and security. Where if any of the organizations coming to a cloud, we should enough a strong knowledge on to assess their environment, where we are giving the solution architect, right? Where who create the solutions, because we need to analyze, we need to assess the customer infrastructure, and we need to recommend them how do we plan it. We are giving them the solutions, right? On the compute, they might be having multiple uh, multiple operating system flavor, like they are using Linux operating system, they are using Windows Server operating system, and they think about there are 1,000 plus servers are using, but how do they plan for to entire infrastructure to move. We cannot take in one shot for all the servers to be moved into the cloud. So we need to plan, assess that environment, analyze the environment, their applications, right? Their criticality of the business, then plan for the phase by phase development environment, test environment, then the production environment. That solutions we need to provide, which is comes under for solution architect, right? So we would be covering about these areas towards our journey as a part of AZ104 certification, which is manage Azure identity and governance, which is also certification areas of covered 15 to 20%. This is actually, exact exam pattern covers. These topics are exam topics covers, which we need to thoroughly understanding. 5 topics are there. Manage Azure identities and governance. It is cover 15 to 20%. It would be comes under for your Azure Enter ID, which we called as Azure Active Directory, and subscriptions, uh, policies, and how you wanted to make role-based access control. All it would be covered as a part of governance. We should be covering about that is in detailed in a 15 to 20%, which is been covering for the exam portions. And again, second one is implement and manage storage, where we are going to talk about storage. How do you, on premises we are using already storage, the bigger storage. How do you keep the data safe? How do you keep the data in a one location? How do you plan for the backup? How do you plan for the redundancy? Everything is comes under same portions would be covering 15 to 20%. Deploy and manage Azure compute resource. We would be covering about virtual machine in this, and how do you build the virtual machine? What are the configuration of the virtual machine? And those virtual machines are deploying in the respective locations, which is called region, right? Scale up, scale down, how all this related of the VMs we would be talking about 20 to 25%. And configure and manage virtual networking, which is one of the backbone of entire uh, cloud administrator. We would be talking about what is on-premises traditional network would be using, and what is a virtual networking, where we are going to manage our resources. We need to create our, virtual private network and subnetting, and then we net all, point to site to site, all configurations comes under for configure and manage virtual network, which is the portions are little, higher comparatively the other topic, 25 to percent 25 to 30%. And monitor and backup resource. Overall, we should know that is in how do you monitor, how do you trace the logs, and how do you uh, observe for that all the resources are behaving, where we call as a health check, and also to take a backup of the resources. These are all overall of to become a cloud administrator. We are using for the on premises. It is completely consolidated. As I said, we are bringing that is in from on premises networking to the cloud. We are bringing on premises VMware or operating system to the cloud. We are bringing on premises using storage, bringing to the cloud. Consolidated all the services we are accessing in a one location, right? So we will be going to learn for the thoroughly in this AZ104. We would be talking about these are all outline of the courses. Though administer identity, administer governance and compliance, Azure resource, virtual networking, inter-site connectivity. Uh, these class, no, module 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 till 6. These three topic comes under for networking, which is virtual networking, inter-site connectivity, and network traffic management. All these 3, 4, 5, 6 are covered under the Azure networking. And administrator storage, virtual machines, administered patch compute options, and data protection monitoring. There are 11 models are there. We would be discussing little deeper level. Okay. So you might already, aware about that. How do I plan it? My, in a career point of view, right? So these are all overview of which we are going to talk about in our upcoming journey, right? So if you ask the definition of what is cloud, so before I talk about, anyone has any question? So for we just overview of, what are the prerequisites would be needed, what is the certification would be needed, and what are the syllabus we are going to cover, we discussed, right? And we would be talking about what are the benefit and how to prepare your profiles and all we'll discuss. So let's talk about today a little less time. It is we can talk about that is in overall picture of the cloud. How do we make a plan for that is to bringing in my cloud, we'll talk about, and what would be the benefit of this. Anyone has any question so far? What is cloud? Why I should move to cloud? Correct. This might ask you question in interview also. What is cloud here? It is cloud, nothing but it is not over the cloud, generic, accessing resource over the internet, over the internet from single portal. It might be a network, it might be a VM, it might be a storage, it might be a security, right? It might be a database, it might be application, where you will have that is in the common centralized portal called https portal.azure.com. So when you open this portal, you would be able to see this all the services Microsoft has keep on implementing, keep on adding their innovative services, okay, in this portal where you can see portal.azure.com. So you can see this portal, you would be able to see that all the services, right? So services are, when you click on this, the three line, if you see all the services, the one portal has all the services where you see this. Microsoft has categorized based on the areas, based on that is in terminology, they categorize, they're bringing that is their entire info in this. So they would be using for, see, these are all categorized: AI plus machine learning, analytics, compute, container, and database, right? And whichever fall under those areas they are implementing, it would be a part of that region. Earlier, just for the very few areas they have implemented. Now we have full-fledged accessing over the cloud. But Microsoft says, tell me what you needed. All services we are providing, and you just tell us, and you just pay what service you are going to use it. I don't no need to invest any single rupees to your own for the preparing infrastructure. See this: storage, security, networking. You see these are 17, 21. They are keep on implementing on the respective areas, and they will be innovating, and they'll bringing that is into the in this area. Earlier, if you ask me, that is in 5 year back, these numbers are very less. Earlier storage was only 6. Securities, you know they have implemented very less. Now they are keep on adding for that reason, based on the use cases, based on the user interaction, user giving the feedback, and they will be developing those innovative things, and they will bringing it to the respective areas. So what else you needed in the IT, in the business point of view, in the services you wanted to access, Microsoft is asking, tell me, I have around 1,000 plus services are there, and those 1,000 services are fall under one of them. You use it whichever you need it, and you pay what you are using. That's all, right? If you see that is in monitor, migration, storage, and you would be able to see identity, DevOps, container, compute, right? In the compute, you would be understanding all the virtual machines concept, right? So earlier this count was very less. Now it is reached to 35. So same things we have that other competitor, right? Which is called as a, this is Microsoft has Azure, and you have that is an Amazon is for AWS. These are the top cloud service provider companies. Google for GCP. So why I need to learn for the Azure comparatively this? Because the more contributor infrastructure using Azure comparatively Amazon and GCP, more requirement than AWS and GCP on Azure, more vacancies are available in Azure than AWS and GCP, and very good package comparatively AWS and GCP. Hence, and also there is a benefit for who are already working on server infrastructure. It is a correlated. It is a continue with your career point of view and upskilling yourself to learn for the Azure, right? So ultimately, that is what is the benefit? What are the benefit we need to get it? Now take one example. You have a, you know, you need to make one function, family function. What you are going to do? You need to book a hotel, right? You need to book a hotel, and you would ask you what that hotel service providing. Okay, the service providing for that is in a variety of the foods, right? You would need for the variety of foods, right? And you need for the function hall, and you would need for that is in guest rooms, right? And you need for some decoration related. So what you are going to do? You are asking to the hotel what kind of service you are providing, and I would need for this kind of customized menu. You can ask them, and they will tell you that is in okay. These are the foods. These are the variety of food available, and you would be asking for the one big function hall. In this, you can ask them that is in I would need for the this kind of chairs, this kind of cleaning. All you would be asking for all facility provided by this hotel, right? And you would be asking for the guest rooms, which is AC, non-AC. You can ask all these facilities, right? Yes or no? So overall, you are asking the service to the hotel what you needed, and later, and also how many days you would need, how many days you would need it, and those many days it's booked for your name. Okay, and once this function is over, you will be paying them money, how much service you have utilized, how much time you have utilized, and that money you are paying to the hotel and just left out. And you never bother about for the maintenance, for the cleaning, for the resources, for the manpower. And there is a power, there is a room space, you don't need to bother about, right? Everything is taken care by hotel, but you just utilized what service you needed. You just went with your family members, and you have used a function hall, right? Function hall, and you have used for all the facilities, and you pay them the decorations, you pay them the biggest rooms, and how many days it would be, and you have asked for the variety food we enjoyed for that is in all the foods. That's all you left for the after 2 days, and you pay the money, and the hotel still exists with the owner. Here you no need to you no need to construct the hotel, right? You no need to hire the employee, you no need to pay the maintenance cost, you don't need to maintain the waiters, you no need to do anything here. What you did, you just pay the money what service you utilized. The same concept of comes under for the cloud. So already the platform available, and you would need what you needed. You do need a network, do you need a VM, do you need a database, do you need application, what else you needed? Yes, please avail those facilities, avail those services, and pay the money. You can say pay as you go. And what is the benefit I'm going to getting in this? Basically, so you don't need to have that is in to create your own data center, which is huge expensive means you need a space, you need a hardware, which is servers, you need a network which is connecting, you need for all the security things. When you wanted to do your own, you have to pay a lot of money. It's a huge expensive. Yes or no? And manpower, right? And I don't need to do all these things. So everything is taken care by that Microsoft. Microsoft has a build across worldwide their data center. Okay, Azure data center. If you see these data center locations across worldwide, where you can see Azure infrastructure, data center infrastructure. Okay, this is experiencing global infrastructure, right? Okay, you would be able to see this across worldwide. Microsoft has built their own data center. See, this is how actually they have built it. Now we would be going to you will be going to access the resource where you wanted to deploy your, right? There is a interconnected all with a backbone, high faster fiber optic cable across worldwide. And you no need to spend a single rupees. Everything is being already created by the Microsoft. You just, you know, take what service you needed, and there is no single rupees invest, and there is no single rupees for the manpower to pay. And it is best. And you might ask for the what would be the security. There is a huge security involved in this, which is they have already, you might have seen that multi-factor authentications, where we were getting for an OTP, we were getting for um, so no applications we are installing authorization application, right? Those applications, MFA, and face recognition, everything, it would be there, right? Where if you ask me, that is in when the bank manager, or when we are depositing our money to the bank, and you doesn't mean that is in bank manager or bank staff can take our money. No, right? But still we are keeping our money to the bank, and none has, apart from us and who are the account holder, has only access to make the bank transaction, where you are going to log in your own portal and your transaction make your money, right? And no other people has access, correct? So that is the actual concept of going to be happening in the leading the worldwide to the cloud. So we have to learn this. And across worldwide, Microsoft has created this data center, and we would be accessing what service we needed, where we see this in a portal, all services, right? So now, in terms of the job, right, how do we that what kind of the roles, where we can talk about, there is a three type of uh, cloud. One is a public cloud, right? Second one is a private cloud, and other one is hybrid cloud. So we can choose whichever we wanted. Public cloud is a common for all. We will not be able to make that is in our production on this public cloud, right? Where we have seen the Gmail, Hotmail, they are accessing for their our email for that without any this thing, right? But private cloud is comes under for you have dedicated uh, our own organization, right? But comparatively, these all three and the more secure for the private cloud organization, and we can create our own virtual network and VNet, and we create our own subnet. We create our resources in this. And hybrid cloud, you can go ahead with a mixed with on-prem and cloud, which is I have some data center, physically data center in on-prem, right? And plus cloud. So those infra we would be going to talk about in hybrid, right? And the same platform you would be going to use, that is in cloud infrastructure. Cloud infrastructure. One is platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, you can say SaaS, PaaS, software, right? And application as a service, right? So now you choose is what you need it. Okay, infrastructure services, infrastructure as a service. So you choose at what you need it. So you need for the entire infrastructure. Yes, you can take it to completely your VM. Okay, your networking, and you want to take, and you can handle for all these things. And when you say platform, they will be giving the platform. In this, we build operating system, we build application on that operating system, right? But just he will give that is a platform and then use it. That hardware part he will be giving it. There is no need to take bothering about that is in their hardware configuration, their upgradation and maintenance. Everything will be taken care by the platform, right? So we need to take care about this. Is we can build that operating system where which location, which region you wanted to, you can manage it, right? Software as services, where you can see some already the Microsoft has built for, that is in Office 65, right? And SharePoint, and we have the sale point, where you can say Workday. So everything is ready. You no need to deploy to do that, do things. Ready made applications are there, you would be using for these web applications. But overall, so in this platform, when we have the work on this, right? So we would be ultimately that Microsoft already built for their infrastructure, already built the infrastructure data center they built for across worldwide. And again, when you come to the cost, you can think about what service you would need, right? I have around 100 server in my data center, which is already existing. I'm using for this, and it's a huge cost for the every month, right? Every month. And I think about it, I wanted to reduce this some amount here, which is I'm spending money for every month. Few servers, few application servers or database servers wanted to move into the cloud. Then in this we can plan for that is in, so when do I use, and that time only it should, my server should be on, right? And the optimization thing for that is in resource optimization, resource optimization, right? And scale up, right? And what do you say, manpower reduce. I don't need for the persons to managing here, and everything is automated, and it would give you that is in accessing part when you need it. And these servers, few servers I move to the cloud, and you are paying the money. I don't want to pay that is in those servers hardware configuration, those servers migration, those server upgrading, I will not bothering about. And patching activity, maintenance, no, I will not be going to take care, and everything is taken care by Microsoft. But I would be just only accessing for how my business is needed. So obviously, if you spending a huge money for this, how we are using for, take another example for that is in, instead of buying a car, right? If you want to buy a car, you want to buy a car purchasing, own car, you can say, if I want to take a own car, how much money you wanted to spend? Is a normal model, if you take about around 10 to 10 lakh, right, in Indian rupees. So I would need a parking for this, my own. This is my headache. I would need for the fuel when when you want to travel, right? And you need for the driver, and you have to pay for the every month service charge, or you say maintenance, correct? Instead of that, you are spending already, but think about how much utilizing. If you're taking car out for the monthly once, you already invested your money, 10 to 12 lakh, huge money, and you need a space for the parking place. You need to pay that place, either use or not use, and you have to pay for the fuel, how much time, how much the distance you are going to travel. But you would need for the, either you travel or not travel, you have to pay the driver fees, salary, and every month you would have that is in your servicing charge, right? Either use or not use, you have to pay this much expensive. Instead that instead that I will book a car, where you can say Ola or Uber. What is at my expensive here? When I am going to use, I will just book a car. I don't need to bother about my driver. Okay, driver maintenance, parking maintenance, fuel maintenance. You just pay how much distance traveled. That's all. You pay how much distance travel. That's all. You don't bother about your parking, your car maintenance, right? Fuel. Do you taking care about all? No, right? The same concept of coming to the cloud, which is you are going to, major benefit of that is in reduce the cost. Major benefit of that is in reduce the, you know, all maintenance activity and the security. So why I need to go to this cloud? You can tell that is, these are all benefit I'm going to. The first point is a reduce the cost. Agreed or not? So every month I have the huge expensive. I'm paying, either use or not use, I'm paying the money for that is in every month. But business point of view, if you're paying this much money, there's no point, right? How do I reduce it? How do I optimize it? Cloud is giving you all the facilities, and when you come to the cloud, you will be acting as, you will be using as a Ola or Uber. So these are the benefit, and you would be going to discuss in a more detailed level. How do we create a virtual machine? How do we create a search networking? How do we create a Azure Active Directory? All we'll be going to talk about in details. Anyone has any questions so far? Is that you're getting what I'm trying to explaining? Okay, that's all from today, guys. Since it's a demo class is scheduled, I just gave you overview things. What are the things we need to learn in this? And you have any question, feel free to ask. Any questions? Arvind, can you hear
Hi
me?
Neil.
Ismail and uh, who is another person? Mary?
Hi Neil, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
This
hear
is
you, Arvind. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
uh, Arvind, Neil, what is the duration for this course?
It is duration is 36 hours course duration.
Okay.
It's a weekend batch, weekend online training, 36 hours. Okay, it's weekend online training.
Only 1 hour, right? Or 2 hours?
No, 4 hours for each week. Okay, 4 hour each week. It means Saturday 2 hour and Sunday 2 hour,
Okay.
including one small break.
Okay.
Okay, and fees can be talked with the call Mr. Amit. Okay, I will share his number. You can talk to them.
Neil, can you introduce yourself? How much experience in Azure?
I have
Anything?
around 16 years of overall experience. Currently,
Okay.
I'm working with a cloud security. I'm leading the cloud security. I worked IBM. I worked Wipro. I worked Microland and started career within Windows Server Administrator, right? And I was part of an automation which we were using the PowerShell, and now I'm leading for that is in cloud security. Currently, overall 6 to 7 years of experience on cloud.
Okay, cool.
We will be talking about in detail and when we actual class going to start.
Okay.
But this training is not for the traditional kind of where you can go and see that is in all the materials and all the YouTubes or videos will be available. And this training will make you little more confident and feel as experience. And that is what people are coming to us, and that difference you would be able to see. It is
Okay.
not just you paying the money and learning. It is not a learning, it is experiencing. You should feel as experiencing. That is a benefit, everyone should get it. This is a number for Tommy to call people to talk about with the about the fees and timing. 95406 62806.
One more question. Neil. Can you
Yeah,
do we need a PowerShell knowledge for this?
if it is have a knowledge, it well and good. If no, but I'll take you one class for how do you start journey with PowerShell.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone? Anyone other questions? Anything? All good?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. Okay. So yeah, these are all we just discussed overview, and to have a clarity, what are we going to do? What are the topic we are going to discuss? What is the benefit of this cloud? And then we would be talking about one by one, and you can make your profile whatever existing experience you have. After completion of this course, you would be able to add on confidently. I am become a cloud administrator, and these are the activity I'm confidently going to do. So you would be going to do multiple time lab, and any questions asked during interview, you can able to answer confidently how you can do it. It is no need to have any additional separate, because everything is into the portal. Whatever topic we are going to discuss, you would be able to do the confidently in the lab. But there is a subscription by default you have, that is a free subscription of the Azure, 28 days, and later either you can take that is in pass, or you can convert with that is in pay as you go. It won't be a much charges for, but ultimately how much you utilize the service, you would be going to charge, whichever we're talking about so far now. But you will come to know completely that is in how that is in Azure service is a billing part. Okay, how is going to charge one machine, one networking, one IP addresses, and maybe your lab 1 or 2 month utilizing, it might be comes under $600 for Indian rupees, or 700, or you can say within 1,000 rupees. And if you use a more servers and more think, and make sure you should not turn on machine when you are not using, so that is going to be charged more. But you will be going to feel these are all experiencing, right? How I am reducing my cost by implementing or by bringing in cloud, and when it is going to be uh, charging more, right? Which scenario is charging more from the cloud? It is absolutely like our light bill. The more lights on, the meter will be keep on running, and your bill will be coming accordingly. And your lights are off when you are not using, you can light should be off all the rooms, and the meter would be stopped, and you will be getting a bill for what you are utilized, correct? This is the actual same concept of cloud. The how much you utilized, how much you are on state, all the resources, it will be keep on adding your bills. Good to go? Good to wind up? All right. Thank you so much, guys, for today joining this session. And you can talk to the Amit for the further discussion. Okay, let's meet up with the next class. Take care, guys. Good to go? I'm going to wind up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Amit as well. Technically, syllabus point of view or technical point of view, you can reach out to me anytime once we have actual class started. All right.
Okay, Neil. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.